Hello and welcome to the ChapterSkip podcast, volume 16. I'm Mark.
And I'm Joe.
And I'm Sean. Welcome along, everyone. Now, you may be wondering, where's Chud?
Yeah, where is Chud?
He texted me earlier on today and says, I've got to do some anniversary stuff with my girlfriend. So basically, it's been pussy whipped again this week.
You do anniversary things with girlfriends?
Well, you do stuff you want to do, but bring them along.
Oh, right, okay.
Not on a ChapterSkip day.
Yeah, you'd be like, happy anniversary, we're going to do a podcast.
You could have done, yeah.
Yeah.
He should have come here, fucking selfish bastard.
So, unfortunately, we won't get to hear Chud's opinions on the movie Audition, which was his homework last week. And speaking of homework, let's just quickly run down what each of us had to watch and review. Mark, you were...
I had to watch some episodes of Visionaries, Knights of the Magical Light.
Yes! And Joe, we kind of left it open to you, didn't we? We sort of said, you can watch Tall Hot Blonde or Troll 2 or whatever. Moulin Spooge.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I watched Tall Hot Blonde.
Okie dokie. And we got talking about vampire movies, so Mark, you suggested the movie Thirst.
Yeah, Chud suggested it, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I backed him up.
Alright, my memory does not serve me.
Well, I'm not going to back him up no more if he's going to fucking let us down like this. Jesus.
Anyway, so who would like to go first and give their opinions on their homework?
How about I go first, because you obviously already talked about it last
discussed
week, so I can
about
get
it,
it out of the way.
Good shout, Joe.
I like Catfish better. No, not really. Not really. No, it blew Catfish out of the water big time. It really did.
Now, for those out there listening right now who want to know what we're talking about, it's a movie called Tall Hot Blonde. It's on Netflix. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Go back and listen to last week's podcast where myself, Chud and Mark talk about it quite in-depthly. We kicked Joe out because he didn't want to hear any spoilers.
And that made me jealous. I was like, I need to see this straight away.
So, you watched it and you enjoyed it, yeah?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, I certainly did. No, it was awesome. It makes Catfish look like just nothing. It was just so good, and like I was listening to the podcast obviously because I was out in the room. I agreed with everything you said, like on that. It was just
cool.
Like, because I know you didn't give the end away, so I've got to be careful what I'm trying to say here and stuff. But
we gave sort of plenty away, but we didn't give the definitive.
Should we just say now, just warn everyone, there will be spoilers and bad language in this podcast. So
I think
I have.
Did you?
Yeah.
I said selfish bastard, and I've said it again.
Spoiled it already.
I think you dropped an F-bomb at the start anyway. I won't say it myself because I don't like to dirty my mouth with such language.
Well, if you listen to last week's podcast...
I didn't say cunt last week.
You said it this week?
I said it this week.
We were dropping all the F-bombs, the C-bombs, the other F-bombs.
That was all in context, though.
It was, yeah. It did get quite dirty language-wise last week, but we're going to try and keep it a little more clean-cut until... one of us gets quite irate and, hears about the latest remake or the latest Michael Bay movie or some crap like that. Yeah. Anyway, back to Tall Hot Blonde.
Yeah, just amazing. Just how he got, entwined in that sort of like, that was his life. That's how he looked at it. That was his life.
Oh, what, the Marine?
Yeah, that was like
ultimate sort of.
Yeah, it was just, that's what he lived for, sort of thing. He had a boring life, like a real life, and then obviously he can go on computer and he could be what he wants,
So what did you agree with us about how much to blame do you think the woman was?
Oh, big time.
More than him?
I was disgusted. I just hated it. I wanted to, I really wasn't happy.
So I believe I may have called her a naughty word last week. But that was, it was allowed because she is.
It was just so, it's just like, what the F, I won't swear. What the F? But,
what the fudgelings?
Yeah, and then... And imagine, like, you've done that. You've killed someone because you're jealous and you loved them that much, and then you don't even know them. And then at the court, because they said at the court, you see the lady and the blood run out of his face and he nearly fainted. It's just like, what?
Oh, but that was his realisation. Literally going right, I killed this person for love, I'm going to back myself up like that, and then here comes my love,
He probably thought she'd wait for him. She'd wait for him and all this if he gets out and all this, and that was probably going for his head.
She was not indeed at all hot blonde.
Yeah, they was both playing each other basically.
Yeah.
Well, she was playing everyone.
Yeah,
I think she was. Yeah, all right. He murdered someone, but I still think she's way as much to blame, if not more.
But there was no law or someone because they went through obviously all the conversation, and they and never once said like, yes, you should kill them. Why don't you kill that person? Or
She
never put that across like that.
She just perpetuated the whole situation, didn't she?
I feel sorry for him because he's like, why are you getting back on my leg? When she's like, hi, I miss you, I want to talk to you and stuff. And it's like, why are you back on my leg? I don't want this.
I did wonder that
It's
at
just
that
horrible.
point, because during that point in the movie, you didn't know that she wasn't at all hot blonde. You kind of went along with the story. You thought she was an 18-year-old girl because when you see pictures, you assume that's the person, don't you?
Yeah, you just got to be so careful.
You sort of think, wow, this girl is really naive. She's definitely young. She's definitely innocent.
Even in the talking, how she's come across, and
she hasn't matured yet. And then the fact that she came sort of crawling back to him was a bit like something seems off now. And obviously because they're making a documentary about it, something untoward has got to go down, hasn't it? So.
And also, this is me, I'm dead or something. It's like, wait a minute, that's freaking me out a bit. Like, because I heard what you said in the pod, that really done me, and I was like, so is he dead or what? What's going on? I'm just like, what's going on here?
So has anyone here ever made a false identity online?
No, I've lied online. It's like, hi, what are you doing today? Oh, I haven't been doing much. I'll be like, this is me laying in bed.
That's not a lie.
No.
What, really, you've been saving the world?
Listen,
I've been doing much.
No, I haven't been doing much.
I've really been masturbating.
No, that's it. What is it like? Oh, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been busy doing some art, taking the dog for a walk, playing guitar, and I've been laying there not doing nothing.
You've told me those things, though, Joe.
I lie to you all the time.
I'm heartbroken.
So you haven't really gone to so far, though.
No,
because those are the things you actually do in real life. You know, you probably play a bit of drums, have a little gig, play with your dog, and watch a movie.
Yeah.
But really, you do spend a lot of time in bed. So if you do tell us a lie, we'd probably be like,
if I said, I've been up since 6 this morning going for a jog, that'd be different.
I went on a bike ride.
You'd be like, you liar.
Yeah. And then I got in a fight with a bear and saved someone's life.
I woke up at 9 a.m. and had a salad. Fuck off, John. You're lying.
Alright then, I didn't. I've got up at 3.
But you've never like made a fake online persona or anything like that?
I don't. I think that's a bit.
It's
not my thing. It's a bit cheap. Have you? I don't know.
Only because on the Xbox, so you can play. Obviously, we're in the UK to play American games or Japanese demos. I made a Japanese account.
That's different.
I had to invent. Yeah, but I needed to make up this fake email address, and I had to do it where he lives and everything as well.
But was you messaging people and trying to chat to them? And that sort
I
of
just made Akira Miike. I put his addresses. I think I found a Pizza Hut in Tokyo, and I set up his Xboxes there on a business account, and then I could play Japanese demos.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's the most I've done.
So. Yeah. So we're both rubbish with our excuses.
I could carry on with Akira Miike, I guess, at some point.
I've never really gone as far as to sort of, kind of have a hidden identity. But when I had a MySpace account, I didn't technically have my own one. Myself and a friend, we used to run gigs in our local town, so we had a promotions page, and it kind of like morphed from, I used to sort of make sort of crappy soundscapey music, and I used to put it up on MySpace, and then that page evolved into our sort of promotions page, but people knew it was me sort of thing because it said harmful of eating, but they knew it was me that was messaging. They didn't think it was the other person or anybody else like that. So I guess I kind of had like a pseudonym, but I wasn't necessarily posing as kind of this other person. And
so are we good little boys? We're just a bit crap at. I guess we're just good little boys, really.
Yeah, we're not. We're just crap. We're just crap at it.
We don't do that though. I couldn't see the point in it.
It just.
I'm quite happy being me.
Well, the thing is, I think I might have had it happen to me, but I think I was smart enough to know that a hot girl wasn't chatting to me. Way back in the day, I'm going to go hella retro now. I've already put in a MySpace reference. I'm going to go back to Face Party.
I remember Face Party.
OMG. Does anyone...
No, you don't know that.
Basically, Face Party was like one of the first sort of social network things around. And
Party.
I never used to have a computer, so I used to do it at college. But I didn't really want to have my own profile because I thought it was a bit lame. So me and a friend kind of went as like a dual profile thing. And we just sort of message people and just be like, hi, how's it going? What you do when you're young on social networking sites. And then we had this like really hot girl message us and we was like, oh yeah. And sort of you message back and then you just kind of think, that can't be real, can it? Little old me, I'm not having a hot girl probably want to meet up with me. So we made up this...
Probably one of your teachers.
We made up this like pseudonym that it was actually a 40-year-old bloke called Malcolm Murray. And then we wrote a song about it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, sort of. All in all, you'd recommend Tall Hot Blonde to our listeners out there?
Yeah, no, definitely. I can remember, this is not long ago, but I added a girl on Facebook. I thought I'd just add her, just to be friends, and then she started chatting to me instantly, and I was like,
Just
all right,
random
we're chatting,
girl
and she's like, and I was like, yeah, we're getting all right, just chatting. It wasn't like nothing like bad, and then she's like,
She murdered you.
no, we're chatting, and then it's like, do you want to see a webcam video of me? I was like, what?
Yes.
I was like,
just let me set mine to record. Hang on a minute.
This is not long enough of just getting to know each other and that. And then
Hi,
it was
how are
like,
you? I'm Joe. I'm Joe.
No.
Want to see my pussy?
Yeah, no, yeah, it was sort of like that. And then it was like, oh, if I'm not working, you know, there's other girls in other chat rooms you can talk to me. I was like, yeah, see you later. And I blocked her straight away. I was like, I don't believe in this crap.
Yeah, have you ever had the email come through from the African prince who wants to send
I've never had that one. I've read plenty of them, but
yeah, they're really, really funny because you're just like, who the hell falls for this stuff? You know, it's like, yeah, I'm an African prince and our country's in disrepute and we can't get our money out of the country, so we're going to transfer it over to you. All you have to do is send us all your bank details and we'll transfer it in. It's like, yeah, sure.
I like the ones where people troll them back there and go, all right, and start to make them believe it. Yeah, we've got this story, can you show me a picture of the money and all this, and yeah, we'll sort it out, and they're just completely bullshitting them at this end, so... It works both ways.
The African prince is just going, why does nobody take me seriously?
Your best African.
It's better than my Guillermo.
Yeah, that's true. Your Mexican was pretty bad.
Yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. It's a really, really good film.
Excellent.
Like and what you said as well, I'm glad I watched Catfish before. And then, And then
like I said, I think if I'd have watched Tall Hot Blonde first, I'd have watched Catfish and gone, what's this shit? It's just wannabe.
Yeah.
The crazy thing was that, like, you know, she's sending, like, knickers and that to him and the thing, and then the pictures straight away, the same pictures.
And the fact that it looked like she'd been stalking her own daughter.
Yeah, that was
the daughter. Then you see the daughter, and the daughter's like, what's going on? I don't really know. And the father.
The dad as well, I felt sorry for.
Yeah.
Really bad. I really felt sorry for him. Yeah. No. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I thoroughly recommend this.
Thoroughly recommend it.
So if you guys out there listening have Netflix, search for Tall Hot Blonde. It's TALHOTBLOND, and just check it out. It's a cool movie.
And if you don't have Netflix, it is actually on YouTube at the moment. Whether it will be on this much longer, I don't know. But you know. Lots of opportunities there.
If you watch it, leave us a comment on this video and let us know what you thought. Or you can tweet us at ChapterSkip, or you can Facebook us, facebook.com/ChapterSkip, or just click any of the annotations in the video description. Now, I'm really excited to hear what you thought about Visionary, so I'm not going to go next. I'm going to let you go next, Mark, and give your homework.
I guess you're excited because I'd done the theme tune.
Yes! Which made me think, you watched it enough to know the theme tune, so you watched a couple of episodes. And...
Whilst Joe goes to punch his dog.
And that's not a euphemism.
I watched 8 episodes.
Oh, nice. So you got sort of fairly into the story.
I thought I need to... It was okay, though. It didn't... I think if I'd watched it like you when I was younger, I'd have really enjoyed it again. But it had that typical early 90s Saturday morning cartoon thing where the animation is a bit crappy.
Yeah.
Some of the voices were terrible, but... You haven't watched it since you was a kid, have you?
I have. I watched it probably about, I'm going to say, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Could you name me 4 characters? See?
Hang on.
See, this is my thing with it, I think. It's
Merlin? Oh, no, you haven't got up to that yet, have you?
No, yeah, it's Merklin.
Oh, Merklin.
Yeah. Oh, they really had to think hard about that one. Merklin.
Oh, man, it's...
Probably
what's the leader of the Visionaries?
See?
Leo?
But I bet if I said mentioned 4 people out of He-Man or something, you could reel them straight off. Or
I don't know, because He-Man's the same sort of thing. Like Transformers, because I watched it recently, but He-Man, I'd be like, He-Man and... his friends, but because I haven't watched it so long.
See, I can only remember, and I've been watching it recently. Merklin. See, I forgot the main guy's name. Leo something.
Yeah, it's something Leo, isn't it?
Leoric.
Leoric, yeah, Leoric.
And, the guy was the Feral.
Feral, yeah.
I think the fox
they did have quite crazy names.
The thing was, a lot of them, they're all in full plate armour, and a lot of them then have full face helmets on as well. So you're like, I've no idea who the fuck this character is.
Yeah.
It was just... I think I've been spoiled by watching too many good anime shows where it does a long story. Whereas this wraps something up. It's like one episode. It's like, here we go. The the spectral knights have all lost their powers. They've all been frozen by Dark Storm. he's nicked Merklin's magical orb. He stole all their powers. He's frozen them. Then he's got carried away and summoned some massive evil thing that looks like it's going to bring about the end of the world. And then it all got resolved in one issue, in one episode. It's like 25 minutes and you're like, bang, done it. And it's like, this should have been dragged over like at least 3 weeks or 3 episodes to make it like, holy shit, what's happening?
Yeah, that's the thing, that's a product of its time, isn't it? You know, and maybe if it was a Japanese anime, they might have taken it on the long haul. But I think it was, like you said, sort of episodic. So people can kind of jump in and jump out whenever. You know, there's a theme running through, but you kind of pick up as you go along in the first couple of minutes what's going on, and then you enjoy the episode, and you know it climaxes at the end, and you can
Was it like the weaker version of Transformers in a way, or do you think, or?
I
sort of
don't know, because it's been a while since I've watched the Transformers.
Did they have like a hologram on the pole?
Yeah, they have like a
as well?
star.
See, that was a bit
But they have a
crap as well.
hologram. Did they have a hologram on that as well?
Yeah,
as well as on
and
the
they,
chest.
well, they have one on their chest,
And
so
then
they
they have
turn
one on-
into like the animal, and then they have like a staff which has like
If
a
you
remember
ask
seeing
them a
the
question,
figures.
it'll
I
be
remember
the
seeing
staff
the-
will be wisdom, or one's got
Yeah.
an archer or something.
I can remember
But the thing with that is they use their staff once, and then they've got to go back to Merklin's thing to put it in the pool to recharge it. But then they always end up using it on their way home, and they got attacked. So they never get home. In reality, they'll be like, "Oh fuck, I've just used my staff again." Like, hold on, I got to go back, guys.
I remember the figures.
They'd be crap in like Lord of the Rings
But it
or
was-
whatever, wouldn't they? They get
Oh,
halfway.
shit, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I gotta go
Oh, I've got to
recharge
go
my
home,
stuff.
left the oven on.
They're like robot Care Bears.
What?
Sort of thing. Because
people?
they got the things on the chest, don't they?
Robot Care Bears.
Yeah.
You have no idea what we're talking about, do you, Joe? You're just thinking in your own little world. They're
Anyway.
humans and they're knights.
Oh,
It's not
the
on Earth, it's
humans.
just-
All right,
Yeah,
sorry.
and
So
then
that
they
was
go
the
to
other thing, I guess
I
to
didn't
make
know
it
they was
familiar to
humans.
people, because it was like, it's not on Earth, but here's a lion, and here's a fox,
Yeah.
and here's a
Oh, I didn't know there was
cheetah, and
humans. No.
there were some odd, I thought odd, the main bad guy, like, you have the mollusk.
Yeah.
But then it forgot its
So
own
it kind of
rules.
reminded me of like Megatron, you know.
Oh, the
you give
guy,
like the main
yeah.
bad guy the really shit totem.
But it sort of forgot its own rules, because the Dark Storm, I think, or whatever the bad guy, did his parents call him that?
Ah,
Because he's kind of out of options, right? And my son, Dark Storm. But it forgot its own rules, because there was the last one I watched, that Leoric. The evil guy's power on his staff was he could age things, and Leoric had a fear of that, and then he made Leoric old. But then they sort of got him and cornered him, and he used his staff to make Leoric young again. I'm like, hold on, you never fucking recharged your staff. They do a lot of suddenly knowing what the other person's doing. Someone's like, oh, he's got the antidote. And like, you don't know that. He never even mentioned it to you. The characters know what the audience members know, even though technically they shouldn't know these plot details.
I think you're thinking into it a little bit too deeply there, Mark.
think
Like you say, you are spoiled by anime that kind of go over the details. And,
shows, yeah.
yeah, and this is kind of like, pop it on, enjoy yourself, don't really think too hard about it, and just kind of channel the inner child inside you.
I want to get more caught up in the plot though. That's why I enjoy anime series so much, because I'm like, holy shit, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'd quite happily watch like a 20, 30 episode epic story rather than we've wrapped it up in 25 minutes.
Now, the reason we were talking about visionaries is because last week we mentioned, what was it? It was like we were talking about Transformers,
and
weren't we?
Ninja Turtles,
And then we were talking about movies that cartoons that were going to be adapted into real life movies.
Yeah.
And then we each kind of gave an opinion on what we thought would make a good live action movie.
I forgot one very important cartoon that should be made into a live action movie.
What's that?
Johnny Bravo.
Of course, you will start as Johnny Bravo.
I ain't got the hair for it though.
I can put a wig on.
Oh,
I'd have
mama.
to shave me like, no, my mind, there's a handsome man in my house. Never mind, it's just me.
Oh, my. But do you not think, say for instance, they did decide to do a Visionaries live action movie, and then they took your heed and basically said, right, okay, what we're going to do now is probably focus on, 4 or 5 characters, kind of condensing down a little bit, and develop those characters, get to know them, see their faces and know their names and stuff like that, and go on to a whole sort of hour-and-a-half story. Do you think it'd be quite a cool
I don't know
concept?
if it'd work though.
Do you not think? Like, people
know,
getting
not-
totems and like turning into animals
If you
and
then
fighting and
focus on,
stuff.
if you then focus on 4 or 5 characters, everyone would be like, oh, where's the rest of them?
Yeah,
It
but
was
not
a bit,
yeah.
and it was strange how the start of it is it's a world that's quite a technologically advanced world, and then they have the 3 suns or whatever, 3 planets become into an eclipse, and it's like, oh, your technology's fucked, magic rules now.
Yeah.
And it looked like it should have been hundreds and hundreds of years this had happened, but everyone remembered it. And you're like, hold on, you're showing a place that was like, in the good times of technology, and now it's over. The jungle is overtaken. It that takes more than 5 years And everyone's going, oh, I remember when this used to be such and such a place. Like, you shouldn't be able to. It didn't quite get the timelines right.
Well, I think it's kind of a case of they're probably aiming towards, you know, probably people that aren't in double digits, you know, young children. Maybe
they just want something nice and
maybe
easy.
lower teens,
Something nice
easy to
to
follow along. You know, you don't have to go right, 25 years later and then explain what the people have been doing. It's just literally, you know, oh, it's technological. Bam, now it's not magic rules. You know, it's
a bit like, oh, look, there's this technological vehicle. I remember these. We have powered it with our magic, and now we will use it. Rather than, what the fuck is this thing we found? What does it do? And there was a whole, you could have had that whole mystery of like, what is this? But they're just like, oh yeah, I remember this. Here we go. We've powered it with magic now.
Yeah. For anyone out there wondering what's going on, Joe's like beating his dog up because it keeps running around. We normally shut it outside, but it's been
Could you
raining.
put little socks on it so it's
Pissing dead, yeah.
Little booties.
Little slippers.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, if you're into your 90s cartoons, I'd recommend give it a shot.
What
but
about,
just don't expect too much from it.
What about Mask? Remember Mask, as in the TV
I
series?
remember, but I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, that would probably be cool. Live action.
It's weird that I didn't
Live
watch it
action
because
film.
I'm sure Visionaries was early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm sure I was like 13 or something when it came out, so I don't know why I didn't.
I think Mask was.
What I was doing, it was so important.
You were 13 in the early 90s?
That's right, isn't it? Yeah.
When were you
No.
born?
No, hold on, what would have been? No, I wouldn't.
That would make you quite.
Yeah. No,
that
that's
would make
not
you
true.
younger than you are now.
Sure, well, maybe it was the 80s then.
Yeah, maybe 80s.
It was 80s. I'm sure I looked and I thought I was 13. What was I doing? Probably masturbating. But it's anything you do when you're 13. I don't know what I was doing at 13 that I didn't really watch it.
Yeah. Well, maybe you did watch it and didn't get caught up in the characters.
No, I definitely
maybe you were
didn't.
just
I remember seeing the toys with the holograms, but I know I didn't watch an episode. Because I think I may have seen the odd one of Mask. Was there an annoying child who had a motorcycle that turned into a scooter that turned into a shit robot?
What I can remember, I think it's something like that. Yeah, it was. Because
That
I
annoying
had like a
players.
water bottle, and I think I had like bed sheets and that as well.
That's
With Mask,
a Mask water bottle.
Yeah, it's just like what?
Because I always hate like crappy child sidekicks, and they've always got like an annoying like little pet thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, not as gleaming as I thought your review would be, Mark.
no,
but
it was okay, but I've been spoiled by stuff like, Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
I was actually going to offer you some anime homework, but we'll get into that later if you like.
Yeah, well, we'll take a natural progression. We'll talk about movies, and we'll see what comes up as homework for next week. But last week we got talking about a movie that you watched, Joe, which was Only Lovers Left Alive.
Yep.
And we were talking about the sort of the vampire genre and how they were dealing with it in a way that it wasn't kind of, an average way. They weren't just kind of blood-sucking creatures that kind of go out and just maim people just because. Yeah. And that brought about the discussion about the movie Thirst, which you'll have to correct me, Park Chan-wook directed?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and he's the guy that directed Old Boy and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Stoker was his American directorial debut.
Yeah.
We briefly, I think I might have mentioned Thirst when we went and watched Reverend.
Okay.
Because that was...
That was the first time I ever met you, so I was
actually,
probably just
wasn't
like...
it? Because the writer was there, and the writer-director was there, and the
Yeah.
actors, and I think because that was about a priest who had, he was, and I was like, oh, it sounded familiar at first, and I think I said to him, I was like, that's what I was expecting to see, and it was like, oh, it was completely different, but it was nice to see it hadn't copied that, and anyway.
Yeah, so I watched that movie, and I have to admit I expected more, because obviously Old Boy was such an incredible movie, and I watched about the first hour, like, I don't know, Friday night or whatever, and then had to catch up the rest the next day. So I watched the first hour thinking, right, Old Boy was kind of similar, very slow burning, we're building up to something, and then I expected, all hell to break loose and kind of craziness to happen and more to happen, and then the next hour was very much the same as the first hour. So I think my expectations kind of spoilt it for me, and having seen Old Boy, I was a bit like, right, come on, you got to ramp it up now, come on, do something crazy, and they just kind of didn't, really, so I was a little bit let down by it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were some decent ideas in there. I liked it when or how it kind of came about. I didn't really understand it at the beginning, but as you watch the movie, basically he's got a disease, so he goes to like some sort of clinic and gets injected by EV, which I guess is like vampire blood or whatever, and only,
I don't think they realised, did he? Did he put himself up for... No, he offered... It was a leper thing, wasn't it?
It was something like that, yeah.
He did he get leprosy and he offered to be put up for trials for leprosy cures?
Yeah, and then he gets injected with the blood or whatever, and then 1 out of 500 people kind of live, and he was one of the 500 people, and then people were just kind of like worshipping him because he was like the bandaged priest, and obviously he survived because they thought God was on his side, and they got blessed by him and stuff like that. And then turns out he's a vampire, and obviously vampires need to feed on blood and stuff. And it was interesting that he didn't kind of go straight for, sucking on people's necks and stuff like that. He tried to source it in different ways, like, because he cared for people in like I guess it was like a hospice type thing, wasn't it? Yeah. He would grab people that are in a coma and just use their blood instead of actually killing people.
Right. He was on the floor drinking the tube, wasn't he?
So that was quite an interesting sort of thing. He still had some humanity because he didn't want to go out and just kind of feast on innocent people like that.
That's what like Only Lovers Left.
They
done that, didn't they?
It's very similar to that. So it's kind of a cool idea. But then I expected it to kind of evolve from there. I expected him to he did kind of have a bit of a dark side because he's a priest, so he can't have sex and can't do all these other kind of stuff, so he does kind of break, I don't know, God's bond or whatever, and starts becoming a bit more anarchistic or whatever.
Actually, I've remembered a weird random fact about it, because there's a bit where there's like a rape thing, doesn't he, to try to turn the people against him? Weird.
Yeah,
I think that was the first time full frontal male nudity's been shown in Korean cinema.
Oh, really?
So there you go. If you want to see a tiny Korean,
yes,
that's the film for you.
Well, I couldn't see it. It just looked like a little mushroom head popping out of a furry bush.
Like on Hangover. Was it a Hangover when he jumps at the trunk and he's got like a tiny penis, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Ken Jeong's character.
Yeah,
what's his name? Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow,
yeah. So yeah, all in all, I'd kind of recommend watching it if you sort of want to watch an interesting take on the vampire genre, but don't expect it to kind of go anywhere too extreme or kind of take things. But I was happy that it didn't go in a way like Rigor Mortis did, because Rigor Mortis was obviously a Chinese or horror vampire movie from Hong Kong that had a whole different kind of setup as to how vampires are made, what they do, what they're weak against. Whereas this was just a normal average vampire. He looked in the mirror, but he saw his reflection, so that's kind of different. He drinks blood, he can kind of jump, he can heal, and he can heal other people by giving his blood. So it's kind of very similar to what I know from watching things like True Blood and stuff like that. So I was kind of happy that it didn't confuse me even more, because there were certain plot points that I didn't understand.
See, what I liked was, I know you said, because you was expecting him to go all out and it didn't.
Yeah.
But for me, where he was at the start of the movie and how he was at the end of the movie, it was a natural progression.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those things where you look at the end and go, hang on, it doesn't make sense for this character to have become this. It was too quick, because sometimes you'll get a film that does that and you're like, wait, thinking about it doesn't make sense. He's got from point A to B and it doesn't quite add up. This was a natural.
Yeah.
And I did like how they're painting the room, the interior of their house, all white to keep it light.
Yeah.
Which is something they can't experience.
Well, I thought that was good aesthetically, because obviously there was a certain point where the girl in the story started coughing up blood and going all over the white floor and the white carpet and the white walls and stuff. It looked really, really good, visually good, because bright red on bright white just looks really striking. So there were some really interesting ideas in there, and I like the fact when he first gets turned and he goes over to the house and he sort of leans down and he starts to feel sick. He's like, I just got the really distinct smell of blood. And then the girl goes to the bathroom and obviously she's on her period, so he can smell that. And I was a bit like, maybe it's going to go in kind of a twisted direction, but they kind of never followed up on that. So I was a bit like, I was kind of disappointed, but then not. So I was a bit
fish and tampons out.
I was expecting him to
put one in a cup of tea, like a tea bag.
That's the weirdest Bloody Mary ever.
Blood Tea Mary.
Very good. Knock it out of the park.
So I wasn't really
And they
impressed by it,
weren't all sparkly.
They weren't sparkly, which was good. They kind of jumped around off buildings and stuff. That was kind of cool. And
so I wouldn't recommend more of his films, but you don't want to keep going and watching his stuff for homework.
Well, I think I will watch, because you mentioned
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and I'll go for, if you want something that he's done that's got more of a comedic vein to it, then go for I'm a Cyborg.
Okay.
Which is a girl who ends up in a nut house because she believes that she is a cyborg. But everyone in the nut house has got these strange. There's a guy who he only wears masks, and he thinks that if people start ignoring him, he'll just shrink away until he's just a little dot, and then he'll disappear, and things like that. And there's like a guy who just rolls around on the floor, which works really well because they'll be talking and suddenly this guy will just roll across on the floor in the middle. And you're like, it's a cool, quirky little thing that's quite funny. And
yeah, I think I'll watch a few more of Park Chan-wook's movies, not as a homework assignment, but more of just kind of
for your own,
just for my own amusement. And then if I do, I'll let you know, Mark, and we can either talk about it on the podcast.
If you want more like Oldboy, then yeah, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. That's a really cool film.
Excellent stuff. So homework done. We'll have to wait till next week if Chud's managed to unravel himself from his lady
Grips.
From the grips of his lady friend. So we'll hear what he has to say about Audition next week. Now, before we recorded the podcast, Joe, you said you had a little topic to chat about. Well, lay it on me, sunshine. If you can get your iPad open.
1 second.
Preparation.
And so quick, someone make a noise, it's all gone quiet. The listeners are getting bored. Should have started swearing again.
Okay.
What was that?
That was sort of beatboxing drum and bass, but really, really badly.
Are you ready yet, Joe?
Alright. A film called Boyhood.
Yes, I heard of this. I see a trailer for it when I was in the cinema last. It's I'll let you talk about it.
So.
It's I just couldn't want to. Yeah, talk about what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
let me get.
I see the trailer for it, and it basically opens up by saying it's a movie that's been in the works for quite some time because director Richard Linklater, he did Slacker and did a couple other movies. Basically, found I don't know if it was like an 8-year-old boy, something quite a young boy, and basically he cast him in his movie, and he's followed him throughout his life and filmed him as he sort of got older. So instead of getting a young child that kind of resembles somebody a bit older, he's actually filmed him like when he was younger, then probably waited a couple of years, for the next part.
So how old is this kid now?
I think in the movie he grows up to be about 16, maybe 18 or
so
whatever.
he's been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, I think something like 8 years, 10 years.
12 years. It took.
12 years.
Boyhood is a 2014 American drama film written and directed by Richard, Linklater, and starring Patricia Arquette, Ella Coltrane and Ethan Hawke. The film was shot intermittently over a 12-year period. Filming began in the summer of 2002 and was completed in October 2013. The film premiered at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival with a theatrical release set for later in 2014 So yeah.
So I'm not sure if I think that's just too much effort to go to, right?
I know, it's pretty
an actor that looks alike.
I think they just were so involved in doing it. Like I see a little thing about it saying that they really enjoyed it, and
it's a clever idea.
Patricia Arquette even said she didn't want it to end. She was like, because I think they've just done a bit each year. They're still doing the film roles.
I suppose all the other
just
cast members are obviously going to look different.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they age and that as well. Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like rather than
you've got to really commit yourself.
Aging,
what are you going to do if then someone has an accident or they die or something? You're like, shit.
Yeah.
You kind of fucked your film.
You got half a movie, haven't you? Or whatever,
but you see like a little boy and a little girl and they grow up together and you just see them develop and stuff.
It's a cool idea, but I think it's a lot of messing about to go for something you could have just had actors and old age.
See, I think it's more of an artistic, more of an experimental expression rather than just going, right, here's a movie where boy A grows up and we see his trials and tribulations and what he has to face when going to school and finding his first girlfriend and going through puberty. Actually having the physical boy.
Is that what it's actually about then? It's about
I don't actually know, but I assume it is.
Because it's scripted, it's not.
It's not a documentary. No. It's not like something strange like that.
Because sometimes you get a child actor who can was it in Thor? The young version of Loki. Fuck, he looked like him.
Yeah.
I thought he was they'd done a really good job of getting a kid who looked like he could have been a young Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
The clicking of dog feet.
Well, it's quite interesting you talk about that, Joe, because I did a little bit of homework or a little bit of kind of research, and I went on a movie site called cinemablend.com. You heard of it?
Not.
It's
I'll
one of
say
the,
no.
It's one of like the
Probably
top 5 websites that come up when you put in movie news. You know, you get like Total Film, then Empire, then a couple more, and Cinema Blend, and they actually posted their top 10 movies of 2014 so far, and Boyhood actually is in there. So,
is it?
I think they've probably seen it or seen an advanced screening or whatever. So I was just going to run down a couple. I'll run down the top 10 and see if you guys have seen the movies and or agree with their list. Number 10, The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
I would definitely put it up there.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. Really good.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Number 9, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that
good.
thought that was incredible. Now, something I haven't seen, and I very much doubt that you guys have seen. Maybe Joe, I don't know what you're like with your chick flicks. The Fault in Our Stars. Heard of it?
Yeah.
Is that the one where she's
I've heard of it.
ill?
Yeah, I think
Cancer or something?
I think she's got cancer.
I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's one of those you look at and go, this film's been made to make ladies cry at the cinema.
Yeah, and for boys to cry in the cinema because they've been brought into the theatre by their ladies. Number 7, here's something I haven't seen but I really want to see. It's called Under the Skin. You heard of it?
No.
It's Scarlett Johansson, and I think it's quite a dark, sort of twisted movie. From what I gather, I see a bit of the trailer, and I think she's like some sort of like alien or something. And basically, she's like, I don't know if this is correct. Let us know in the comments below, or we'll do some research into it. Actually, do some research. But I think she like hunts down men and sort of, you know, as the title would suggest, gets under their skin or whatever.
Are you only interested in it though because it's Scarlett Johansson?
I am. That is one of the main reasons I looked at the trailer, but then after hearing about the movie, and I think somebody on my Facebook has seen it and saying, you know, it's one of
Sounds a
the
bit like
best movies.
Species. Sounds a bit like that.
Oh yeah.
It might be, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I haven't done loads of research into it. I just kind of looked at this list. But carrying on, number 6, something we've talked about before on the podcast and we all thoroughly enjoyed, which was the Lego Movie.
Yep.
Oh, that was awesome.
I would recommend that to each and every one. I thought it was one of the top movies of 2014, so I think they got that right. Interestingly, number 5, they've put Only Lovers Left Alive.
That's strange, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that still doesn't appeal to me.
No.
Because you've made it sound like, the characters in it sound hipsters,
Yeah.
and it's got the word lovers in the title. That's instantly going to put me off.
Yeah.
That's sort of one of those things that goes, no, not for Mark.
It's quite arty, isn't it? And very.
It's like Thirst, but probably a bit slightly more subdued
and very
more
slow and just
more just to do with the ideas
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, if you're looking for a gory vampire flick, where they do stuff, just kind of sit around and kind of bounce ideas around, and
When you spoke about it the other week, it didn't sell it to me. I was just like, oh, hipsters, fucking hell.
It's not played.
you have to hang out with 2 of them every week, don't you? I'll let you guys decide who's the hipsters, but I thought of it before you did. Number 4, here's a movie I want to see, but I can't see myself wanting to see it at the cinema because I'm tight. But it's a movie called Chef. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
John Favreau?
Yeah.
Hello, children. No, not that shit.
Hey, Chef. Scarlett Johansson's in it again. It's got
I've seen a trailer for it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be sort of a feel-good kind of dramedy, drama comedy, where it's based around...
Is it in New York and they open up a restaurant or something?
Well, I think he works for like quite a high-class restaurant.
Is this Ratatouille but without the rat?
Probably, yeah.
Tui.
And he just wants to make his own food. He doesn't want to make what's on the menu because he feels that he's got the skills. So basically, he buys like a van. How they have like taco stores
Cuban food as well.
I think it's Cuban, something like that. Yeah. And basically opens up his own thing. It becomes a hit, and I think it's going to be. It looks pretty good because it's got a lot of people in it, like Jon Favreau, Scarlett Johansson. I think Robert Downey Jr. makes an appearance, so it'd be something I'd like to look into, but probably if it came on Netflix or maybe sort of a cheap on-demand kind of thing.
Yeah.
At the moment, this has got a not for Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys watch it and tell me it's really good, then I'll give it a shot. But
number 3, we mentioned it, Boyhood. Same again. Netflix, I'll watch it, cheap rental.
Yeah, it wouldn't go out your way sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't cinema it. It's something I probably wouldn't bother with unless you guys say, no, check it out. It's really good. Or you throw it at me at homework at some point.
Yeah.
Number 2, here's quite a shocking one. I haven't seen it, but I can only imagine it's shit. And we did mention it a couple of podcasts ago. We saw the trailer and we weren't really interested. I think you were more interested than I was, Mark.
Okay.
Edge of Tomorrow. The
I haven't
Emily
seen that
Blunt,
yet.
Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
sci-fi action,
You see the trailer,
Groundhog Day.
I was intrigued by
Which
the
is the trailer?
Groundhog Day element of it. It looked it had that kind of
Where
video
he's-
game element.
Yeah,
kind
where
of
he's
like
training her.
you lose a life and restart kind of thing.
Yeah, he shoots her.
I was intrigued, but not enough to actually go and watch it.
No.
Exactly, yeah. The only reason I'd watch that is if we were going to do a review for it or whatever, and maybe if it come along and somebody's like, "Oh, I'll watch it," because if I got a recommendation, I'd probably watch it.
It's another thing that would be like, I'll wait for Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
No rush for it.
And number one, which was quite shocking because X-Men: Days of Future
Or
Past is not in
Godzilla.
there. Godzilla's not in there. But have you guys heard of a movie called Snowpiercer?
Yes.
I've heard
heard of
it's
it, but
amazing.
Couldn't tell you what it was
No,
about.
I think it's an adaptation of like a French novel or something like that. No, this is probably putting you off right now, but
no. Well,
I think
depends.
it's.
If it's a French film, I'd probably enjoy it because I do.
No,
some good-
I think it's some sort of I feel really shit right now because I don't have any facts or anything.
Snowpiercer sounds like somebody goes around and fucks snowmen.
Or where you piss in the
Well,
snow.
like the porno
Snowpiercer.
version of Frozen.
Frozen Snowpiercer.
Let me blow, let me blow. But yeah, it's got Captain America in it, and I've heard it looks amazing. And I've
Captain
heard,
America.
He's in it. That's
Well,
amazing.
obviously not Captain
Chris
America.
Evans.
Chris
but not,
Evans,
but not
is
the
in it.
crap ginger
Not
British
just
Chris
Winter
Evans.
Soldier. Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier. Snowpiercer.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
he's getting typecast, isn't he?
But yeah,
We're doing a winter film. Can we get Chris Evans?
yeah, and I've heard it's absolutely amazing. So that will be something I'll
Yeah.
definitely check out. And if it's hit their number one, and if it's beat movies like Grand Budapest,
Oh, no.
The Winter Soldier, Lego Movie, so yeah, I think I'll definitely check it out.
I'm surprised X-Men and Godzilla.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Are we annoyed that they're not in there? Because we enjoyed them, didn't we?
Well, the thing is, I would like to pose this question to you. I was going to message you guys on Facebook, but I thought you probably don't have enough time to do it. I was going to say, think of your own top 10 movies of 2014 and bring them in tonight. But I'll pose it to you guys now. Make a note and think about the movies you've seen this year, whether cinema, DVD, and
got to come out this year.
compile
Yeah,
your
we
own
got
top,
rid
top
this- we got
10
rid
or,
this year,
or
like-
top 5 or whatever like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd be interested to know.
I don't like doing top.
Yeah, it's difficult, but
Yeah.
it's narrowed down. It's not like your top all-time
Mine
favourite.
would probably be quite random.
But that's
I
cool.
love
And then
some
we-
bizarre, and that you'll be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, but then we can talk about the movies and sort of get some ideas and might spark some future homework if you've seen something and recommend it.
I don't know if I've seen 10 2014 films yet.
Yeah.
You probably
Same
have,
here,
but
yeah.
or maybe movies you've seen. Well, you got to think. I was a bit like, it's not really been long into 2014, have we? But then it's actually July right now, so
Yeah, is it?
we've been
'Cause I
7 months into.
I kept thinking Grand Budapest was last year, but
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was like November or something.
I need to
but
see that film. I've not seen it.
Yeah.
Really, really,
That's really amazing.
really good.
I think you really dig it. So
Yeah.
you guys up for doing that? Top
Yeah,
10 next
okay,
week,
yeah.
and we'll run down them really quickly. I'm sure we'll have a lot of crossovers with movies like X-Men, Godzilla, Captain
Mine will be a
America.
top 10, but in no specific order, I think.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
we'll see how it works when I start writing it. But I'm not. That's why I don't like giving things a score out of 10.
Yeah.
because
They
it's just
have,
a
they
bit.
have to be.
But it fluctuates as well, doesn't it?
I just wonder. I just don't know if I've, like you said, I don't
And
know.
it's
if I've
because you
watched
can't
that
rate-
many in
Yeah, you
2014.
probably have and not realised.
Or maybe think back, a couple of ChapterSkip reviews we've done with a
Yeah.
twist. We did a couple of 2014 movies. Go back and maybe even look at what movies have come out and see if they spark any.
I think my reason for not liking to do like an out of 10 score as well is because you can't rate, say, an indie film on the same scale you would a big Hollywood blockbuster. Because you can't you can't do like, oh, what am I going to give this one out of effects when that one's obviously going to be, it's a bit of a weird.
Well, I
Yeah.
suppose you could, because it'd be you. Like say you like you.
I just
indie
go by
films.
it's my
So,
preference,
yeah.
not by.
No,
I couldn't
no,
do it
not
on the
at all.
quality of the acting or the quality of effects because you'd expect the big budget one
Yeah.
to be better, but.
I mean, look at what was it in Godzilla? We hated him. We wanted him to die. He was rubbish.
Oh,
the
Aaron
main
Taylor
guy. Yeah,
Johnson's
Kick-Ass.
terrible.
all the time.
Kick-Ass.
There you go. There you go.
Whereas Big
you
Ass
make-
Spider, we
yeah,
wanted Greg
yeah, yeah.
Rumbo to win the through the day. And,
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, have a little think, and next
okay.
week we'll each run down our top 10. I'll let Chud know, and maybe he can bring a top 10 in also. And I'm gonna say probably 5 out of 10 we're gonna have the same because I watched a movie
yeah.
that came out a little while ago. I don't know whether to talk about it now. Yeah, fudge it. I'll talk about it now. It's going to be in my top 10. I watched it,
It was
the other night.
Transformers, wasn't it?
No, it was...
22 Jump Street.
No, The Raid 2.
Oh, right.
My God, what a movie!
I forgot about that. Good,
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Wow. Really, really good movie. Don't want to spoil it for anyone. A quick review.
It a while on one of the early
I'd like to
podcasts,
see it.
but-
Yeah.
Amazing action, good acting, great story. Bit too long for me. I did feel myself getting a bit bored during the downtime. But
it's
the
the
fight
raid, but with a plot in it rather
Yeah.
than just lots of people getting their asses kicked in a building. It's actually got a really good story to it.
the fight choreography is incredible.
Yeah.
Good lot of I say gore. It's not gore, but you know, blood
It's
splatter
bloody and
stuff like
violent,
that.
but it is
And
within the context of the movie.
it's got that same hard-hitting action that the Raid 1 had.
man, yeah.
You know, when people get hit, you feel it. You're like, oh!
Especially that backbreaker one.
the guy getting hit by the car.
Yeah,
That,
just you know, when stuff happens, I'm not sure whether it's the sound design or whether just these stuntmen or whether it's been sort of set up so well. They just look like they're getting creamed by these hits.
That's
and
what I
stuff
like
that.
about Asian cinema, especially like martial arts film. You see the stunt guy take the hit, and then you feel that sense of impact, which I think is like, whether it makes me a bit masochistic. I want to see someone get slammed into a building, but it's like, you really feel that kind of like
there's a couple
that
of-
moment where you go like, oh shit.
There's a couple of fight scenes. There was one in the mud, which I just thought was great.
Yeah.
Great
Was that the
aesthetic
prison,
because it was
wasn't it?
just so muddy and stuff, and you know, crap was going down. People getting hit, and you're like, oh, ah, ooh, ee, ah. And there's one in the nightclub. People were taking some rough hits in that, you know, getting thrown everywhere, and you're like, ah, gee, oh, that's got hurt, oh, fudging out, oh, bugger, you know. And then obviously the final fight, you just like, oh,
Yeah.
ow.
I need to see.
I can't remember if it's the final fight or not. Someone has actually done a Lego version of it,
Really?
complete with little blood effects and
Oh my
everything.
God.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it and it's like, this is really good.
What I liked as well, I think director Gareth Evans actually put a few homages in there to Oldboy. Did you pick up on them?
Edwards. Is it Edwards or Evans?
Gareth Evans. Edwards was
I thought
Godzilla.
Evans was Godzilla.
Edwards.
I remember going like
Gareth Evans.
Oh, was that the
Evans,
Raid?
Welsh.
Fuck, I can't. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Getting
That's
your
right,
Gareths
that's the Raid
mixed
one.
up.
Yeah. Sorry,
Gareth Evans, director of the Raid 2 Barandal. A couple of homages to Oldboy in the fact that one of the final bosses, let's say, the girl, Hammers, that had to be a reference to Oldboy. And
was it on a train or a bus or something where she was laying in?
Yeah.
Where she first gets introduced. It's like, that's fucking awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where it's in the trailer, so you know the main guy goes to prison.
Yeah.
And there's a particular sort of initiation thing where he's in one of the toilet stalls, and it's kind of like him versus 20 guys, and you know.
Is it on? Is it released? Is it on DVD? Like, is it released yet?
If it's not, it's about to be any minute, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have to check it out.
Because I did watch it, and I must admit I've forgotten quite a bit of it. It's one of those things that I went and watched it.
I've not seen it.
It was late when I saw it in the cinema. So I was like so tired. I watched it and enjoyed it, but I can't.
I understand that because you know I felt myself physically tired from it just watching the action.
Yeah.
I think at one point I had to like just pause, you know, and just go grab a cup of tea because.
No, I think it was just like one of those stupid like half midnight viewings, and I was like, I really want to watch this, but I'm so tired. Like, fuck me, look at that, and it's like, I'm gonna have to buy it because it was just so good.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be in my top 10 list for next week's. And if you guys out there, if you can grab a copy somehow, just grab it. Raid 2 Barandal, absolutely incredible. Bit long, but
So
amazing.
have you ever seen like Chocolate or anything like that?
Chocolate's brilliant.
No.
With the girl is she autistic?
Yeah, she's and the
she
boy
learns-
tries to protect
She can watch.
the boy.
She'll watch, say, a Bruce Lee film, and she'll learn to mimic the moves.
And she don't like flies and things, is it?
No.
And all that.
But the boy she trains with, he's like, he has to tell her like, flies. He shouts flies
That's
if it's
it,
something
yeah,
important to
that's it,
avoid.
that's it.
Because he's doing the thing where he's like throwing a ball, and she's just like catching it without
Yeah.
even looking. And then some dickhead throws like a knife, and she
That's
gets
it,
stabbed.
yeah.
So he shouts like flies as her keyword to duck out of the way.
It's just a really good film.
Really well, but it's one of those where they spent like 2 years training
She's
her
just
martial arts.
she's
and
so
things.
good. She's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sits there, doesn't she? And she's always, is it just rocking all the time and that thing and all that? It's been a while since I've seen it, but I know I really enjoyed it, and you'd thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, maybe that can be my homework for this week. You know, if nothing else comes up.
I've still got my anime thing I was going to suggest to you, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we got next? Is that what you're going to talk about? That?
No. It's just after watching Visionaries, I was going to throw you something animated, but
Okay.
down the anime route to go, look, there's something with a big story. I was only going to give you a specific number of episodes, nothing too huge, but
Speaking of anime, real quickly, I went into a tattoo shop in Wisbeach this weekend. My girlfriend was getting a very small tattoo, and sort of waiting there, looking through the little booklets they have, like people having tattoos and stuff like that. And I can't remember what the movie was called, Skin something or Tattoo whatever. And I came across somebody had a tattoo of Ryuk, one of the Shinigami from Death Note. I was like, that is a really bloody cool tattoo.
That's given me two things, because I was thinking of getting a Ryuk one, because I've got my Full Metal Alchemist one on my leg. But mentioning Death Note reminded me, did you finish the second film?
Yeah, well, I gave him a review of it, didn't I? Yeah.
No.
Did I not?
No, you hadn't watched the last half hour, like when we spoke about it. And then
I did.
That was the... No, you mentioned it on the one when we had the camera difficulties, didn't we? And you still only had half hour left. I don't remember you saying if you finished... Oh, shit, all right then. I don't remember.
I can't remember if I did.
I thought you'd watched it and you still had half an hour to go.
Maybe. Well, I did finish it, and I can't remember what I thought of it now.
It had a completely different ending to the animated series.
Yeah,
I thought it had a better ending.
I think I remember talking about it. I'm not sure if I actually
shit.
sort of
Oh, okay.
said
Perhaps
I
I need
liked
to
it.
listen
That
back.
there was elements of it that stuck to the anime, and it was almost shot for shot, and then kind of took a completely different
So
turn.
I remember you speaking about this, but that was when you still had that half hour to go. I don't know if you spoke about the ending.
Oh blimey! It's been a couple of weeks now. I've watched many movies since then, and I can't bloody remember. I think I did enjoy it, but I think I was still.
You remember how it ended? In the animated series, do you want to cover your ears, Joe, or are you not bothered?
I haven't seen it. So
Are you covering your ears, or are you okay with it?
Yeah, was this anime?
Yeah.
No.
In the animated series, he used Ryuk, no, not Ryuk, the other Shinigami to defeat. He killed L,
Yes.
didn't he? And he then became what he claimed as the god of
In the
new
anime.
world. Yeah, in the anime. But in the film,
Yes.
he got killed by. He was demanding Ryuk killed L or whatever form, and Ryuk's wrote Light's name down in the book because he was like,
Oh, yeah.
no, you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And then he died, which I thought was a nice ending to it, because
Yeah.
then the anime went a bit, when it brought in that mellow and near,
Yeah.
it was like, they're kind of like L but not as good, and
Yeah.
dragging it out.
Yeah, I like that they took a different ending to it, and I thought it was quite a good ending. But I think as a whole, I did enjoy the anime a bit more. Maybe it's because I watched it first. You know, it's one of them things.
Although Misa is still an annoying character.
Yeah, but I kind of no. But,
Is it because she's in that weird goth lolly outfit? Yeah.
I think she's too young to have an attraction to. So I didn't say that. Anybody out there?
Oh, okay. No, I can't remember if I don't think we discussed the very end of it. That was
I can't remember at all now, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, cool. Good.
Something you might enjoy, Mark.
Is that a picture of food? Because I'm going to what are you saying?
It is. I'm going to talk about that later on. But I just want to get you excited about something.
Ooh.
Have you heard of a little? I'm just kind of stalling here because I'm trying to find the tab right now.
I did earlier.
A little house on the prairie.
House, yeah.
Yeah, have you heard of the Little House on the Prairie? No, have you heard of a little festival called Fright Fest?
I have indeed.
Yeah, you always know
They
that.
have released what they're going to be showing this year.
Yes, I meant to check out the list and I haven't yet.
Well, once this loads up, because we're waiting for it to load up, apparently...
I did have a few things written down that I was like, I'm expecting these to be at Fright Fest.
Yeah.
But obviously I haven't.
I think you'll be
Got them
thoroughly impressed by the lineup of this year's
I really want to
Fright
go, but I
Fest.
don't know if I'll be able to do it again. It's a 3-day event, isn't it? And
Yeah. So
What with
the
the baby
official
here, if I'm kind of
press release came out, and for the opening night we've got movies like The Guest, we've got The Signal, and we'll have big hitters such as The Green Inferno,
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Alan Moore, Mitch Jenkins showpieces. So if that's the Alan Moore as in the comic book writer, that should be quite interesting. And something we did a trailer review for, Dead Snow 2.
Oh, cool.
So I'd definitely like to see that. Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller's Sin City, A Dame to Kill For,
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
which I thought, great.
Wow.
Something I've been looking out for and haven't been able to find. We did a trailer review for it. Nacho Vigalondo.
Oh, is that Open Windows?
Yep, Open Windows, featuring Elijah Wood and
Sasha Grey.
Yes. Other movies such as Wolf Creek 2.
Yep.
All Cheerleaders Die, heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and something we did a trailer review for, sort of, I say fairly recently, but it's one of the last videos we did, for Zombievers.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about
Forward
that.
to seeing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, so just those movies just sounds like it's going to be an awesome riot.
I would love to go. I really would.
I would.
You know anyone who's gone before?
Glenn,
I think,
Glenn, one of his. I think they went last year actually.
Yeah.
He said it is a bit strange because you could just walk straight past the place and not know there's anything going on.
All right. That's pretty.
And I think he said it's a bit weirdly
set
up in a way. They just walked in not knowing what was going on, and it looked like people were still setting stalls up. It wasn't ready. I think it needs a little bit more tightening on the organisation.
Yeah.
I've had things where I've emailed them and then not heard anything back, and they don't always release like info like this. You don't always get it.
Yeah.
So I've been looking before last year. I think it was. You're like, well, who's going to be there? What guests? And they don't. There's no comprehensive list.
Yeah.
But
Well, here's something that might make you turn around your decision about going. We've seen it, but maybe you'd want to watch Bad Milo again. So that's going to be there. And something you mentioned probably 4 or 5 podcasts ago, Wolf Cop.
Oh, excellent! Is anyone from Bad Milo going to be there?
It doesn't actually say.
That'd be cool. They liked our review.
Yeah. Basically, it's just giving a list of movies that are going to be there, and they're doing a couple of retrospective ones where they're going to do Kubrick's The Shining, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Necromantic.
Oh, right, okay.
That's
a fucked up movie.
Romantic, isn't you?
I don't think I've seen it actually.
Oh, I thought that was the one you seen.
No, Nymphomaniac.
Right. Yeah.
No, Necromantic.
Sorry, I'm
Or
getting
corpse
confused.
fucking.
Alright, now I'm getting confused.
Yeah, so if you guys out there are interested in this year's Fright Fest, festival and day passes go on sale from the 28th of June, so they're already out, and tickets for individual films are on sale from July 19th, which, if I'm correct, which is in, when this comes out, maybe a week or so's time, so... Yeah, if you're interested in that, go to...
I've been meaning to go for quite a while, but...
It would be cool.
myview.com/FrightFest if you're interested. I'm very interested, but I need to do a bit more research into it. You know, whether there's a certain day I might get to see like Green Inferno, Dead Snow, and maybe...
Ideally, I'd like to go for the whole 3 days.
Yeah.
But I can't really abandon my family with a 2-month-old baby and everything like that, so...
It'll be 3 months by then.
I'll be fine. Yeah. You'll have a job.
You're old enough now, to have a job.
Off you go, boy. You're old enough to find your way in the
You're
world.
coming with me to Fright Fest.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Introduce him to the world of horror and cinema.
Yeah.
You know, maybe scare the shit out of him, literally.
I don't know if he's been introduced to any horror films yet or not. I can't remember.
You got to wait till he's at least 18 months old.
He may have watched Hellboy. I'm not sure.
Ah.
Well, I say watched.
Can he actually
take a
see
lie.
right now? Can baby
take-
for 3 months
He's,
sing?
he's been in the room
Didn't
and
take
it's
a
been
lie.
on probably. But
He didn't go, that was a brilliant film, I really enjoyed that.
I really like this Del Toro chap, father. He sounds interesting. Although I'm not sure why he goes, this is Del Toro. I'm like, no, son, that was Sean.
Ah, sounded very convincing.
Thought he was in the room.
Oh man. So yeah, you mentioned that you saw a little bit of food on my podcast. You
Yeah, I
said you
thought
might
it
be interested.
No, I thought you was going to take the piss and go, Mark's a bit weighty. Here's
No.
a picture of some food for him.
Not at all. I don't want
It's my scratch and sniff iPad. This will keep him amused.
I came across this really, really interesting story. I was on Reddit. You guys been on Reddit before?
No, but I've seen things. I tend to go on Imgur and I get some overflow from Reddit onto there. So
Basically, somebody posted this in, I think it was like the weird section or weird stories of the week or whatever, and I clicked on it and I was just like, this is genius. / people are getting on board with this. A man by the name of Zach Danger Brown
as his parents called him.
went on Kickstarter, right? And basically, his pledge is, I'm making potato salad. Can you pledge $10 and I will eat it? So people were like, okay, yeah. So he's got 25 days to go and he's got 1,586 backers, totaling to $11,407 to make potato salad.
He's going to eat it all though.
He goes, basically, I'm making potato salad. I haven't decided what kind yet. And that was it. He just
Right.
wanted $10, just wanted to make some potato salad. And I guess he was going to like tweet about it or post pictures or, you know, film himself eating it. And then people just like, okay, you fucking make potato salad. We're going to give you money to do this. And then, there's an update. He goes, we did it. And it says stretch goals. Now it's $35. I'll make 4 times as much potato salad. He goes, I know $40 isn't 4 times 10, but you guys have earned it. And then $75, pizza party. And then $100, I will try 2 different potato salad recipes. So, he's thinking, wow, people are into this, $100. Update number 2, all the potato salad that fit to print. He goes, we made the news, let's keep up the good work, new stretch goals coming soon. And basically they keep going on, $250, he goes, I'm going to use better mayonnaise. $300, call a chef to get a better recipe. $350, make way more potato salad and probably do a 3rd recipe. So this is him thinking, well, alright, people are getting behind it. And he's made his next goal, which is $3,000, and he's put, my kitchen is too small, I will rent out a party hall and invite the whole internet to the potato salad party. Only $10 and above will be allowed in the kitchen. The internet loves potato salad. Let's show them that potato salad loves the internet. Do you not think this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen on Kickstarter?
Crazy.
No.
No?
No.
What?
I don't give a fuck about potato salad.
What?
I'd rather go and watch the Fist of Jesus movie.
I thought you was going to say he's like going to put a rat in it or something and eat it like something like disgusting or
Just
something.
some guy going, no, I want some potato salad.
Yeah, but
Really?
I just love the fact that
People
people have got behind
crazy
it and
enough
they've
to
just
do
been
it.
like, let's just support this because we can. We can show what the internet can do. The internet can do anything as long as you've got enough people
Yeah, but
behind
this
it.
is, the internet can do anything, but it's not fucking useful.
Yeah.
Exactly. People want to do stupid shit.
There's probably
Why-
some
why
bloke
don't
that
we do
going,
that?
I think I've cured some disease, and they're going, fuck you!
Potato salad.
Potato salad where it's at, bitch.
Yeah.
Why don't we do something like that then?
Well, maybe we could do. If we want to make a
Some guy's
giant.
going, I've made a pill that makes everyone's lady's breast size increase by 1 cup. And then, fuck you, man. Potato salad. So what is that?
Well, if you've ever thought about making your own potato salad, you can pledge $50 or more, right?
It's not going to happen,
And receive a recipe book with potato salad recipes inspired by each country, where we have a backer along with a bite of the potato salad, a photo of me making the potato salad, and a thank you posted to our website, and I will say your name out loud whilst making said potato salad. The recipe book will have a
That sounds
dedication
weird.
page with the name of each of our backers. This guy's giving back to the internet. He's feeding you guys for $50 or more.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay. What? I can go and get potato salad for probably like a couple of quid at a local shop.
Yeah, but you're helping a man realise his dreams about making potato
No one's
salad.
It was peckish one day and fancied potato salad.
And then he just
That's
got
not
it
a
out
dream.
hand.
Yeah, well,
I'd rather pledge because there's another film I'm thinking of pledging on Kickstarter for. You won't have heard of The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra.
Right, no.
No,
You've got
it's-
potato salad in
There
it.
hasn't got any potato salad in it. There's a guy called, I think it's Larry Blamire, or Blamire, I'm sorry Larry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But he does what are basically 50s black and white B movies, but obviously he's making them now. And if you didn't know, they would almost pass for being the genuine article.
Yeah.
And he'd done The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra and The Lost Skeleton Returns Again. And he's going to do a 3rd Lost Skeleton film. And they're brilliant. I love 1950s black and white B movies.
Cheesy ones.
And now he's on Kickstarter with a 3rd film, which I can't remember what it's called, but I was looking at it going, I think I'm going to fucking pledge for this because I'm just a fan of the series. I'd rather pledge for that than some potato salad.
Do we know how Fist of Jesus is getting on?
I think they only made $19,000,
yeah.
but
Fist of Jesus originally started on Kickstarter, and they were after quite an amount of money, weren't they? They didn't make it, which is what Kickstarter do. They say, if you don't make all the money,
You don't
you
get
can't have any. So the guys from Fist of Jesus went over to Indiegogo, and I think they get a high
they get
percentage
all
of their
they
money.
Get all of it, I think.
Yeah. So I think they made
I think they made 19,000. They were
yeah
hoping for
about 20 grand. So it looks like the film may go along, but there probably won't be as much craziness as they'd hoped.
But you still get whatever the gift is, I think, as well. They get all the money regardless of how much is made. But then anyone who's pledged like we've pledged for like the DVD or digital or whatever, we should still get them regardless.
But that's the thing, now they haven't really reached like 100 grand or whatever, it means the movie probably won't be as good, unfortunately. Probably the story and the
sure
plot and the
it'll be
acting will be, but they won't have enough money to, put crazy
Maybe there won't be giant robots in it, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay.
Exactly.
I still have faith in them.
Got to have a dream, haven't you?
Yeah.
Whether it's potato salad or movies about Jesus.
So why don't we say we need, I don't know, however much a really terrible film is on Amazon so we can watch it and then we pledge money to us. So they pay for us to buy the film.
You want us to go on Kickstarter so we can afford movies to watch?
They're terrible.
We want to review a shit film.
Yeah, like a really
Give us
shit
$10 and we'll review this film.
And then it just keeps going on like that, and then you get more money, and then we'll watch, I don't know, another crap film. Or
You know what's going to happen? We're going to do the same things we did for not Troll, whatever that movie's called. The really shit movie with
Skin
Dave. Yeah, Skin Deep.
Skin Deep, yeah.
We posted it on our podcast saying if anyone wants to swap it, and nobody got in contact. We'll be like, we've got a Kickstarter.
Two people listen to our podcast.
Chip in for £3 so we can watch, you know, something.
It'd be interesting.
7.
You never know.
We could probably do, when we was on about doing a short film, we could probably do, we need $100 just to get some equipment to do this film. We'd probably manage
cool.
that.
That would be awesome.
Maybe, but
You
if
know.
we had some nice friends, have we got any nice friends?
Oh, well, can't you just get can't you just get anybody?
Well, you can, but basically,
It's just hard.
yeah. If you make a Kickstarter and it just goes in amongst the many other Kickstarters, if it
Right.
gets pulled out, you might get like 11 grand to make potato salad, or you might get £4 to make a movie like we probably would because we've all contributed
But
a
then,
pound.
if they give us like £4 or someone like a friend or whatever, we can make something for £4 and say, look what we can make for £4. Why didn't you give us more? It could be a little bit better.
What could we make for £4?
I don't know.
A bit of catering. Mark, go get the potato
Lots of
salad.
cardboard.
We made all them movie reviews on no money.
Yeah.
Homemade props.
Sure we could. We'd probably get more cardboard.
I didn't spend any money on that.
£4 on
And
cardboard.
sellotape. And go, you always need
I didn't spend
gaffer tape.
any money on that cardboard or paint.
No.
Or them puppets that I made.
Yeah.
Old sock. I suppose someone once bought
It would be.
me them
It would
socks,
be
but-
smarter. I really think that would be cool. It'd be
All right,
interesting.
Joe, go ahead and make us a Kickstarter.
And I'll come back next week. Boys, we've got like
Minimum bid of £4.
like 12
For
grand.
$1,000, Joe will come to your house and thank you in person.
Joe will fillet
Thank
you
you.
for 50 grand. Would you blow someone for 50 grand? Anyway,
He's thinking, depends who it was.
yeah, depends who it was, and
Yeah.
If they
50
watched
grand
it
to make a
beforehand.
movie.
As long as they washed it first, it'd be fine with it.
Stick some potato salad around it, I'll knock that baby.
Oh, can you come and suck my
dear.
potato salad?
Oh, we're getting crude again.
A whole new thing.
We're getting crude again, right?
Dirty again.
Let's go on to something completely different. I got a couple of topics to talk about, but seeing as though we don't want to go on all night talking about various things like potato salad and penises being nibbled on, 3 topics. Would you like to hear about the man with the world's longest name? Would you like to hear about a rapper who cut off his own penis but has now had it reattached? Or would you like to hear about how some Ukrainian astronomers have, let's say, dicked on Vladimir Putin? What would you like to hear about? What's grabbing you?
You pick
What's
Joe, 'cause I need to-
tingling you?
I
I
need to
don't
get
know.
myself a
Though. I
liquid
don't know what you
refreshment.
like, Mark.
I like dickless rappers.
I like that one, and I like the first one, the long name, but that's probably really boring. So probably the second one. Yeah,
Okay.
Dickless Rapper. Is that his name? Is that his MC name?
MC Dickless
MC
Rapper.
Dickless Rapper.
Well, there's a whole backstory to this. There's a rapper who was in a group called North Star. Basically, they were on Wu-Tang Clan's label.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I think he went a bit mental, got a bit depressed, took a lot of drugs, and basically cut off the tip of his penis.
Oh, just a tip then, it's not the whole...
Well, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Tip the
He
foreskin.
used a steak knife to cut the tip off his penis off, then he removed his testicles, and then the remainder of his genitalia before jumping off a building.
You've got to be pretty fucked up to do that.
Yeah.
And he survived on this.
Yes,
Could have been a very big
unfortunately.
building.
Please tell me they reattached
Was it a
his genitals
bungalow
onto
or
his
something?
head.
he jumped off a curb.
Jumped off a curb.
Apparently, the rapper told TMZ that PCP was involved, so he's heavily on
Oh,
drugs.
right,
And
yeah. Angel
PCP is
dust.
known as angel dust, and basically people that take it think
you're
that they can
mental.
fly.
Yeah, stupid.
Fry as well.
So fry his own penis
Look
up.
at him making eggs all day. That's
these
not
eggs.
making fried eggs.
I'm gonna go jump off this
Yeah,
building.
but he was like, I need some sausage with that.
You're going crazy.
Yeah, so basically he got off his face.
So he felt no pain, obviously, doing that.
Cut his dick off, cut his nuts off.
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure he probably wanted to commit suicide, jumped off the building and survived. And he was taken to the medical centre where efforts were made to reattach his penis. Now he's back. He's back.
Back again.
And he's got his cock back, and he's got in contact with a porn company called Vivid.
Oh, this is what
This
happened
always
to the other fella,
happens,
innit?
yeah.
The
What was
guy,
the other guy?
Billy Bibbit, was
Billy-
it? No, not
Bob
was
Billy.
the guy who
Billy-
his wife had cut his dick off.
Yeah, and he was a
and he got
porn
it
star,
reattached.
yeah.
No, and then he done some porn.
She chopped off while he was asleep, didn't she?
Yeah,
Threw it out
he'd
the
been
window.
fucking about or something. Yeah, threw it out the window. That would be brilliant. If it's like we tried to reattach it, but it turns out it was savaged by a badger.
Maybe that's what he
It's a
tried.
little bit weathered.
Maybe that's what he was doing. He was on top of the building, whipped it off, and dropped it. It was like, oh, I'm going to put that back on, and jumped off
Did
to
he
try
cut
and catch
everything
it.
off at the top of the building?
Well, I
Because
don't
I don't know. What I know,
Before he'd have
did he
bled
cut
to
everything
death.
off at the top of the building, throw it down, and then jump after it?
I don't know.
Shit, I needed that.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do
I
that.
didn't want to do that really.
Like, oh fuck, them are nuts. I need them. Oh fuck it.
I'll just go and get them. You're going to go down the stairs, mate?
Imagine being
jumping
that,
off.
that high, like you're looking at your own penis and you're chopping it off.
I'd feel sorry for the pedestrians. You're like, and then like a bell end hits you. Like, what the fuck is this?
I've just been shit on by a bird.
That bird's got a massive penis.
So basically, this
It's
guy,
raining. What a load of bollocks.
he got.
Anyway, do we know his rap name, by the way?
Yeah.
Or is that?
Let me. Well, he's part of a group called North Star, and his name's Andre Johnson.
Johnson. Johnson. That was a good name. wasn't it?
Andre No Johnson.
No Johnson.
And basically, he said, "Vivid, get at me." He said, referring to the porn production company.
Get at me.
When asked if his reattached penis functions. So basically, he doesn't want to just say, "Yeah, it all works. It's going fine." He wants to prove to people. And Vivid got back to him and says, "Well, we want to check out the goods before he makes an offer."
Oh, my
They
God.
should have just said, "Piss off, you twat." It takes more than having your dick cut off and reattached to
Some
become a porn star.
porn star's got to have a fucking mutilated cock inside her. Brilliant.
Is it going to come off halfway? The fear, isn't it? He's pumping away and be like, oh, hang on a minute.
Hold it.
Maybe they could do like a.
Get some glue.
Sometimes they do them like stylized porn flicks where he could be like a zombie.
Yeah.
He chases some girl, gets her down, starts going at her, and like maybe his arm falls
Yeah,
off, and she's
his
like,
penis.
"Oh my god!" Tries to get away, and then his cock falls off. But they could actually use his real cock and be like, "Wow, the effects on this porn movie are amazing!"
MC Dickless Johnson.
This is weird. They're going for like the facial cum shot, and instead of just she gets hit in the face by like a seven.
Yeah, it comes off. Bang!
That's what happens now when I ejaculate.
She
Sorry.
does that and whacks herself in the face.
Projectile penis.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
God.
jizz anymore, but my cock flies off.
That's like something out of a Japanese horror film.
I've put a little attachment in it, so it's like a party blower. So my cock fires off and goes.
Or instead of matey from Dusk Till Dawn with his cock gun,
Yeah.
he literally just gets his cocks out and flies it at people's faces.
Sex machine.
I'm glad we're finishing on this topic.
There you go.
Yeah.
We try to keep it nice and clean.
Yeah, we've gone at the porn and penises again.
Sorry.
We just
Sorry,
can't
people.
stick away from cocks, can we? We always gravitate back to porn, gravitate back to the awful language and just absurd.
I
Actually-
bet he wished his cock gravitated back.
I've got something porn-related homework-wise for next week. I was going to offer to someone, possibly Sean. But there you go.
Is it Sasha Grey?
No, but I'll leave this until
Is it
next
that
week.
rapper?
It's Andre Johnson's premiere
It's to do
performance.
with when I was on about the porn parodies
Right.
the other week. I found something of a film that I know you're a fan of. So, but I'll probably leave this for next week then, I guess.
Alright,
He's a fan. Oh, he
Mainly because
teased
I
us
haven't got
there.
it with me. I'll need to bring it so you
teased
can
us
borrow
there.
it. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's something like maybe like Fight Club, so it could be like a porn parody of Fight Club.
Fight cock.
Cock Club.
Cock club.
Fight cum. No.
No, you.
That's really bad. So
Fight cum.
Bits and cum just fight you to the death.
the first rule of Fight Cum is we do not talk about Fight Cum. The second rule of our Fight
Don't
Cum
get
is
it in their face.
we use hand sanitizer beforehand. Right, before we wrap this podcast up, we should set each other some homework. You mentioned earlier on about a movie, I can't remember now.
I can't remember. I
yeah, what was we saying?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Do you want a movie or some anime?
I think I'll watch a movie. It's a bit easier anime.
Get the red chocolate. What's the other one? The one with
Chocolate.
Chocolate with Johnny Depp in it. Also.
So don't watch Chocolate.
Yeah, Chocolate.
What's Chocolate? It's done by the same people that did Ong Bak.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's quite a good little film. Yeah, really good. The action's
Just
even though you know that some stuff's wired and so on, but it's done really well. It's really
Don't look at the
clever little
wires.
film.
You look at the wires.
You can't see them. Yeah. But it's one of
We
those.
don't have wires
You see
in ours.
people taking hits, and you will be like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see the wires when we don't know ChapterSkip stuff. Coming off the hand.
glove coming off. Yeah.
So yeah, I will. I'll watch Chocolate, not Chocolat.
No.
What do you guys? What should we recommend for Mark? What do you reckon, Joe? If you can find.
What was it? I said I want to watch
The Raid 2.
Yeah, Raid 2.
If you can grab a copy.
If I can, though.
Whether you
If
can
it's
find
available,
it
yeah.
on
If it's available.
iTunes or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. I'll try that one.
If
That's
not,
all right.
pick something yourself.
Free Raid.
Fargo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You haven't seen it yet, have you? And you want to catch up on
Yeah.
that. So
Fargo.
yeah, The Raid 2. If not Fargo, you can watch a couple episodes and or maybe you
And
can
then your
marathon through it.
Top 10
episodes.
2014
Yeah,
films.
top 10 2014 movies.
Double homework.
Yeah, crazy.
Jesus. What about for
And
Mark?
That's not on. I've been on a bloody training day all day today, and now I've got to do it tomorrow, and now I've got double homework as well. What's going on?
Poor you. And you've
loads
got a
of
baby,
homework.
but at least you've got your cock.
What there is that?
Oh, well, yeah.
Although,
Until next week.
a few more weeks and I'll be having a tube snippage, which we'll broadcast live on ChapterSkip.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. We can film you while you're doing that.
What is people in it? I'm just filming me nads. Don't worry about it. It's for telly.
We do a Kickstarter on that.
Because then people will pledge more money to cut more off.
Yeah.
I'm not having that.
$10, you get a slight snip. $20, you get, I don't know.
Yeah, what can we have for
Everything below
Mark?
the waist gone.
What can we have for Mark?
Let me think.
What have we talked about?
What about The Fault in Our Stars?
What?
The chick movie.
Oh, no, you bastards.
No.
Oh, okay, thank God for
Well,
that.
I watched I don't know, he said he wouldn't like it, but you
Yeah,
give it a go.
I'm pretty sure I know what you'd
What,
think
the
of
vampire
Only
stuff?
Lovers Left
Only Lovers
Alive.
Left
Yeah.
Alive, yeah. That's an
I'm
idea.
just trying to think now.
Yeah, no,
Well,
we
pick
talked
something
about.
random if you want, then that we've not.
Talked about any.
You can pick a random topic if you can't think of.
I don't know.
Fuck it, I'll just watch what I want then.
What do we know? Come on, let's think of something.
Yeah. What we talked about. Stuff.
I got to watch a porn movie with a dickless rapper.
Well, I said, did you like Mask? That's an idea. I know it's I suppose it's cartoons again though. But you know the
I don't
Mask,
mind.
like the
yeah.
80s.
If you can't think of
TV
nothing
series.
else, I'll watch. I think I may have watched some of it, but
else we got?
I can't remember what the story was. They had masks, and one of them was called Lifter. I remember that much. I think he could lift things.
I don't know.
Let me just quickly go back and see what I can find out.
I think I'm sitting here thinking.
Sorry
oh,
guys, we're terrible.
I'm thinking I've got away with it this week.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mind Visionaries though, saying that, but
I don't know. Maybe you could contribute to the potato salad Kickstarter.
no. if I'm going to contribute on Kickstarter, it'll be to whatever the next Lost Skeleton film is.
Yeah.
What about if that is that out though? That's the thing, that Dallas Buyers Club thing. That's an idea, but is that out yet? What's it called?
Well, how about as we've talked about it? Do you want to go for Only Lovers Left Alive, and then you can
I'll give
compare
it a shot.
You can compare it to.
I just remember
Thirst.
something else when I talked about 2014. Was Captain Phillips 2014?
No, that was.
Okay.
Damn!
Was the end
That
of
was good.
2013, was it?
Yeah.
'Cause that was really good.
I'm really glad you like
Okay.
that.
Alright, yeah, alright, I'll go for Any Lovers Left Alive.
Yeah. I mean,
Fucking hell. If
beware,
I'm with
don't-
lovers in the title, I'm normally going to be like, fuck that, not for me.
yeah, but it's not.
It's
yeah.
more, yeah,
It's more
chilled, man. It's,
Yeah, it's more Thirst than it is Twilight,
Okay.
and it's
it isn't.
Give it a go. Broaden your horizons. Open your
I will,
eyes.
but I've already got low expectations. I want to watch something good this week. The last two films I reviewed were shit.
Yeah.
Well, what
You
is it you wanted to watch then? This way.
No, that's fine. I'll do that.
Yeah. You don't get to pick your own homework. That's not how this works. We're not going to broaden our horizons by picking our own movies, because then we'd come back and be like, oh, it's an awesome movie I picked
Why
for
don't you
myself.
just take some
This isn't so much
PCP?
broadening my horizon as just burning it.
Take some PCP. Just chuck
And see what happens.
Do your own operation.
Do my own.
Then tell us how it
Don't worry, Doc, I got this.
Then tell us how it went next week. That's how it works. That's what I work.
What I'm going to do is attach one of my bollocks to this tree, then I'll jump off this building. You know, when you attach a string to a door and slam the door so your tooth comes out. Do the same with your bollock.
And then sell it on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I'm too chubby to climb trees and buildings.
I tried to kill myself, but I couldn't get up the tree.
I gave up.
I'll watch the bloody emo
Emo
the vampire
vampires.
thing.
Well, it's got Loki in it, so at least be happy about that.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance, vampires.
Does he call anyone a mewling quim?
I don't know if he does.
Ah, see.
That would be quite good. Anyway, so that brings us to the very end of ChapterSkip Podcast Volume 16. Thank you so much for sticking with us. If you didn't, well, you didn't. So you're not even hearing this.
You missed out on lots of
You missed out on some good stuff. And I even had loads more to talk about. I was going to tell you about what happened to me on the way back from work. I'll quickly cover it. I got a bloody flat tyre. I had to bloody change a tyre on the side of the road. Never done that before.
Don't you sell? But you felt well manly,
That's not
did you?
difficult.
Did you feel really manly?
Well, I didn't know how to do it. So.
So you couldn't.
It was difficult.
Use a jack, loosen all the things,
Yeah.
and then remove
But I
all
couldn't,
of
I
them.
couldn't find my spare tyre.
Any little
Oh,
jack?
right. Is it underneath the car rather
Yeah,
than
I
the boot?
didn't know how to get it off.
Oh, right,
Oh,
okay.
God.
Spent about half an hour going, I don't know what to do. Nearly in tears.
Half
on
an
the
hour
side
just
of
to
the-
find the tyre.
Yeah,
This is
nearly.
like a 5-10 minute job tops if you're not very good
Well,
at it.
that's why I almost didn't make the podcast.
Oh,
God.
shit.
I could be still
this
there
is today?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
sitting crying by the side of the road. Change the tyres.
I'm gonna come save you.
I'm sure you'd have phoned up and we'd have been there and
Yeah.
helped and cried on the roadside with you.
I know, I was like an hour away. It's like not near
It's
home.
alright, I've got a company car today, it wouldn't cost me anything. I got one from work. To go on these training days, so I'm using a work vehicle.
Oh, there you go.
Happy days.
See? Should have called
Right.
it.
We'll end on a positive note. I managed to change my tyre. I got very mucky and I did that whole thing where you get mucky hands and then you don't realise. Wipe the sweat from your brow. I got home, looked in the mirror, had a massive line of grease across
Did you
my
feel
forehead.
extra manly about it though?
I did,
As
yeah.
long as you didn't go like that with it.
Well, plus across my top lip.
Yeah, crooked.
Where was your spare tyre? Over there!
Hail Hydra.
Oh, right.
And on that bombshell, thanks for listening. Check out the video description for the links to our Facebook page, Twitter page, blog, and of course, tune in next week for another edition of the ChapterSkip podcast. So, on behalf of ChapterSkip, I'm Sean,
I'm Joe.
And I'm still Mark.
and we'll catch you guys again next time.
Bye.
Cox.
Potato salad.
Oh.